Hey guys, hope you are having a fantastic day today. As you might notice, I have a guest with me. This is Sarah from Abundantly Minimal.
Hi guys.
Yeah, and Sarah is visiting me from Illinois. Yes, I totally said Indiana earlier. Whatever, it's okay. But yeah, today I want to share with you guys 15 minimalism hacks, and so this is going to be a collaboration. Sarah talks about, well, why don't you share a little bit?
Absolutely. So as you guys might know, Ashlynne and I promote videos to help you live your best life with less once a week. And I thought it was such a fun opportunity to be able to work together since we are really in alignment on so many different topics. And I thought this video would be really fun for us to share different ideas of how you can simplify your life.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got 15 minimalism hacks for you guys. First 7 of them are going to be on my channel. And then you can go ahead and at the end of the video, check out Sarah's channel, hit the subscribe button, and also get the rest of the 8 minimalism hacks. And yeah, I'm super excited. Let's go ahead and get right into this. So the first tip that I have for you guys today is to take one item off. And there's this incredible quote by Coco Chanel that says, before you leave the house, look in the mirror and take one item off. And I feel like this is something that can be applied to what you're wearing when you leave the house, but also to what interior you're decorating, or really any time where you're like dressing up something, if you will. And I feel like so often we have this tendency to like put way too much on, and that idea of just like simplify by one, I think is just such great advice. That's
super easy. It's like, it's easy to go overboard. Totally. And I don't have a lot of good fashion sense, so you know that's really good advice too for me, not think, oh, I have to do this and this and this, but keep it simple. I love it.
Yeah, I feel like that's like such a minimalism 101 thing, but it's something that I feel like we just don't think about often enough is, you know, if you just remove one thing, sometimes there's beauty in that simplicity there.
Absolutely. I love that. A second minimalism hack has to do with simplifying your commute. I know at the past school I used to work at, I actually commuted to work with a friend, and that was super chill in the morning. I didn't have to drive, so I feel like I got the better end of the deal. But it was just nice to kind of relax rather than being, you know, stressed out in traffic. I got to hang out with her and talk with her about the day, even debrief after the day. So that was really cool. But it could even be, if you can work remotely, that's a really great way to obviously reduce your carbon footprint as well as just not have to pay for gas or pay for other transportation. Maybe it's take public transportation if you have it, but see if you can make your commute a little bit more simpler.
Yeah, totally. And I've been working remotely for 2 years and absolutely love it. It's incredible. But one thing that isn't quite so much about commute, but it's more about like the transportation thing is, so when Christopher and I moved to Charlotte, it's a far more walkable city than Raleigh where we used to live. And so we were able to go down to one car. And so it was just one of those like, yeah, we might end up carpooling, I guess the 2 of us more often, but it's super helpful really just to be able to reduce waste. And then car insurance isn't cheap either.
Oh my goodness.
Like let alone talking about maintenance. So it's really nice to be able to just like see what you can do to like minimize the amount of like owning or taking a car that you have to have. Okay, so the third hack is to take a rest day each week. And this actually goes back to like in the Bible, like the Hebrews, God like tells them, okay, take a day of rest each week. And it's just this like super simple idea of like, we as humans aren't designed to work 24/7. Like we physically need that rest to recharge, to be able to enjoy life more. It reduces our anxiety when we get proper amounts of rest. And so being able to just set aside one day each week is huge to really just being able to like recharge your brain, your mind, your spirit for, you know, the week that is ahead of you. And so, you know, whatever day of the week it is for you, I feel like it's something that I've found huge value in is just like setting aside time each week to really focus on recharging, like nourishing like my body, my soul, my mind, and whether that's like reading or self-care or whatever, it's just something that I've found like tremendous value from.
Absolutely. And we live in a world, unfortunately, where if you don't choose to make that decision and set that time aside for yourself, people aren't going to respect that, you know, whether it's work, like if you're willing to keep working, like employers will likely have you keep working. So I love this tip. And maybe if you feel like you don't have a full day to set aside, even, you know, adding in the hours here and there can add up.
For sure. I mean, even if it's like a small set of time, like an hour each night, that totally like, I mean, if you do that over the course of 7 days, that is 7 hours. So that's a decent chunk of time, right?
Oh,
there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for this next tip, I know personally, I've often struggled with having way too many ideas and just not enough time to get them done. And sometimes a to-do list can get really crazy really fast. So something that I've been doing over the last year or so has been really simplifying my to-do list. Yes, I might have like a big picture to-do list or like vision board kind of thing of everything, but then when I break down like an actual daily to-do list, I might try to limit it to like 5 key tasks.
Yeah.
Because if I have 20 things on the list, are 20 things really gonna get done? Probably not.
Totally. So I am a very scatterbrained person. If you know me in real life, I'm super disorganized, and like the one thing that keeps me sane is my to-do list. And so I might have a lot of things on my to-do list, but something that I found works for me is I'll star the things that are like my actual priorities, where it's like, okay, if I get these things done in a day, then I've had a successful day. And if I need to move things on to another day, that's fine. They're like things that I need to write down to remind myself to do, but they're not actual priorities. So finding that distinction for me was something that I found really helpful too.
That's awesome. I love it.
Tip number 5 is to declutter, not to organize. And I don't know about you, but when I was first getting into minimalism, I was looking up on Google all of these different like how to declutter this space or ideas of things to declutter. And more often than not, that inspiration and the ideas that they were giving me was, okay, put this in bins, take this out of sight. It was really just about making your space look decluttered and look minimal without actually getting rid of anything. And so like the number one way that you're going to be able to achieve minimalism, or even just a semblance of a decluttered and, you know, peaceful space, the number one thing is to actually get rid of items from your life. The average American owns way too many items. And so by actually decluttering, getting rid of things from your house, you're going to be able to achieve that simple space that you're looking for way better than if you're just trying to constantly rearrange things in an appealing to the eye way.
And that makes sense too, because a lot of the organizers happen to be products you can buy too. So it's a whole industry of like keeping your clutter. Personally, I am a fairly messy person, and so I really depended on minimalism to help me not have as much stuff, which means I can't be as messy. And even if I am having a messy moment or a messy day, I can put away the stuff pretty quick just because there's not that much.
Honestly, probably the most underrated benefit of minimalism is just the fact that like I have people coming over and my house is a mess, and I take 5 minutes and it's like, oh wow, your house looks so nice and clean, and like, thanks.
Yeah. The next hack is to simplify your meals, and you can do this a lot of different ways. Some people choose to go the meal prep route. Some people maybe prefer just simplifying the ingredients, or I'm totally fine having the same kind of meal often, like make a very similar breakfast, similar lunch every day, and it just reduces decision fatigue. If you've got the same kind of meals you're having on a regular basis, or even just fewer ingredients, you don't have to really make as many decisions. And I know myself, I really don't mind having some of the same kind of things repeated. Of course, you know, if I'm having oatmeal for breakfast, there's a lot of ways you can, you know, add fun toppings to make it a little bit different every day. But it just, the more you can reduce those kind of decisions that you have to make, it just ends up being a lot easier.
Yeah, I know Christopher and I definitely rotate between the same like 6 or 7 meals all the time. And then I find that's really helpful too, just with like being able to simplify your like grocery shopping.
Oh my gosh.
I know people for who like grocery shopping can take literally hours, but I mean, if you're buying the same things or similar things on a week-to-week basis, completely simplifies your grocery shopping routine, I guess. And so it's not just easier like when you're actually going about preparing things, but also when you're like in the process of trying to consume, or I guess buy them in the first place.
Well, and then too, when you get to know like what kind of meals you like, I'm sure you guys find you end up saving more money and wasting less food too, because you're making the same kind of thing. You know exactly what you'll need, and even if you don't use it like all in this meal, you'll use it again like when you do the recipe again.
That's been like a huge challenge for me this year, is I've really been trying to reduce the amount of food that we waste, and like intentionally not buying like fun looking things at the grocery store that I'm never actually going to end up using. I mean, I'm totally that person too, but that's like my goal this year, is like, okay, let's actually use the things that we buy. So
I love that.
Okay, and then tip number 7, the final one on my video before you get to go and watch Sarah's, is to set up a donation box. And it is so common where I'll just be like kind of putzing around the house, if you will, and just find something that I just kind of glance at and I'm like, when was the last time I used this? Do I really love this? I know it might have actually served a purpose in my life at one time, but does it still? And that is the perfect situation where a donation box comes in handy. And so this is something that Christopher and I have in our laundry room, and we'll just kind of add to it occasionally, and when it gets to a certain point, I'll go ahead and donate the items in it. But it's really just a great way of being able to keep that minimal and that conscious mindset wherever you go, that when you see something that you don't love anymore or that's not adding value anymore, that you can just go ahead and let go of, and when it gets to a certain point, then you can go ahead and donate or otherwise declutter those items. So it's something that I've found to be just tremendously useful in my daily life at actually getting those like smaller items out of the house when they're not adding value anymore.
For sure, I love that too. We keep ours in our coat closet, and I think one of the best parts too, after you've had your initial phases of like a lot of decluttering, because that first part, it's intense, you're gonna need more than a donation
You'll
box.
have like bags and bags.
But after you get through that point, then it's more so just like maintenance. And if you can be conscious living your life and think, do I still need this? Do I still need that? And you add it to the box gradually, you don't actually have to spend much time actively decluttering anymore, because you've been doing that without even realizing it. Also becomes like a habit.
Yeah, totally. Okay, well, that's it for this video, guys, but we have another 8 hacks for you on Sarah's channel. So Sarah, why don't you go ahead and just remind people of what's on your channel, and then be sure, guys, to subscribe to her channel when you go watch those other 8 videos. She has so much amazing content, and I watch her videos regularly, and I feel like I'm always learning more about just like simple living from you, and it's great. So yeah.
You're so sweet. Oh my gosh. And honestly, just to throw this in here, like we're meeting for the first time today to do these videos like in person, but like I'm having so much fun. Like I'm loving this. But yeah, just like kind of Ashlynne was saying, a lot of my focus is trying to help you live a more simple, meaningful, intentional life. A lot of that comes through the decluttering process, but then also even after you've done your decluttering, like what else can you what other maybe habits you can incorporate to help simplify things and find more meaning in life.
Yeah. That's awesome. Sweet. So definitely go ahead and check out Sarah's video right after this. But if you're coming from Sarah's channel and we don't know each other yet, hi, my name is Ashlynne, and I make videos twice a week, hopefully twice a week, on this channel about minimalism and intentional living. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I would love to have you here. And that's everything for this video, but definitely go ahead and check out Sarah's video right here. It'll be linked in the description box below, so definitely go ahead and check it out.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Bye.